Yeah. Um, Good evening, everyone. You are highly welcome to the Benin Advancement Forum, and it has been a great uh, pleasure or pleasure to be welcoming everybody to this organization, and at the same time to my own broadcast and for the broadcast of the organization which I represent or which I'm representing. Thank you that you people have been following me all this time, and I'm very grateful for that. Today, uh, I'm just going to be very, very brief, and it's going to be a short live broadcast due to some circumstances that is beyond my control at this moment. Yes, first of all, I want to give a shout out to those who have been representing the Benin Empire, representing the Benin Empire in the way with dignity, with respect. And I believe there's more to come from the people of the Benin Empire. No matter the language you speak, no matter where you reside, and no matter what your religion is or your political view is, we will always like to welcome you to our own organization because there's no boundaries that is set for us. The limit is only the sky is only our limit. Let us just dive into what I want to say today because you see, I think tomorrow is the second, if I'm not mistaken, the 2nd of December. And let me check it again. Yeah, tomorrow is the 2nd of December. Why I'm saying this, people might have been saying this in the social media about the Igbos, about the IPOBs or the Biafra agitators who want to call for the independence of the Biafra, uh, the Biafra nation. Sorry, I'm laughing. I have to laugh. Uh, yes, according to the word and according to the freedom everyone enjoy, everybody or everyone is capable or has the right to call for independence. But if that independence will be given or acquired, that is another question. You know what the modern days Nigerians doesn't understand that the Nigeria we know today was not existing 80 years ago. Was not existing. They were only, I would say, nations before the British come together to amalgamate Nigeria. The Benin nation was already alive, was already alive. We were not colonized, but we were brutalized into Nigeria. We were brutalized into Nigeria. Our land was taken away from us and put and added to other parts of Nigeria. And today we are having this discussion about what belongs to the Benin and what doesn't belong to the Benin. And this discussion we are not supposed to be having if we have come together to start teaching our people history, to be giving our people the knowledge they don't have or they don't acquire in school because history was the forbidden one in school. The history we were taught in school was being taught only about Nigerians, about the Yorubas, about the Igbos, about the Northerners. But about the Benins was not taught in the schools. And I have seen some modern days history books that are being used in our states. today, then you will see that most of those that are represented are the Yorubas and the Igbos or the Northerners, while we, the owners of the land, are not even represented in those history books. I believe it is time to really step up our effort, bringing history closer to our people, bringing our languages closer to our people. You see, the Benin Empire is like a bird with many feathers, with many feathers, and with many colors. And I'm saying this because people always ask questions. Why are these people speaking different languages? Yes, you see, although we speak different languages, but we are still one people because these languages are very resemblance, and almost everyone understand what the others is saying because as the distance moves away, so the language also change. You see, before the coming of the British, the Benin Empire territory was one of the biggest in the whole of West Africa. No one could even compete with the Benins in the whole of West Africa. But the British, who were so afraid of the Benins, make it to be a priority to make sure the Benins are silent. And by doing this is to start annexing the Benin territory, starting from Lagos, because Lagos was found and created by the Benins, by the Edo people, the Esan people, the Ka people who come together as one people, as Benin Empire. And those uneducated illiterates that are coming online to say that the Oba said Lagos, the source of Lagos is Benin. I think they don't go back to history. They should go back to history. Somebody like Asare Dokumbo, who has no knowledge, the only thing that comes out of his mouth is spitting shit, should understand that the Benins have been existing thousands of years before the coming of the Europeans to West Africa, coming of the Europeans to the territories of the Benins. Today, the Benin territory is being, only has relevance in Edo State, for example. What we know and what we are taught, the Benin territory was one of the largest, which spread to present-day Ghana, to Angola, to so many other places in the whole of West Africa, to Togo, for example. The Ewe people of Togo, the whole Ewe that is residing in the coastal region of the whole of Ghana and Togo, Ivory Coast, and so on. These are Benin people. These were under the Benin territory. The Ga people, the Asogles, and so many of them, you know, they were Benin people. But distance has been the problem of the Benin, you know. And our forefather, they were very proud to be explorer. You see, when people are talking about the Benin history, they always talk about conquering, you know. Most of these places they were not conquered, to say the fact. Most of this place was used as expedition, for expedition purpose, to set up a camp. So when you are traveling, you have a place to stay before you proceed. And that is how many of these places were found. Lagos was found in that way. And Ondo State was part of the Benin territory, and it's still part of the Benin territory. Ekiti, and so many of them are part of the Benin territory. You see, when people are saying they want to divide Nigeria, which Nigeria do you want to divide? The present day Nigeria or the amalgamated Nigeria? Let us be setting the, the, the record straight. You want to separate the modern days Nigeria, or do you want to separate the Nigeria that was brought together, because we have to be asking this question. Having political power today doesn't give you the right to be oppressing people. The right of agitation is not a monopoly to any tribe or to any group of people or to any religious set of people. Everybody has the right to leave Nigeria if they want. And, but leaving Nigeria, that is not the problem. The problem is, do you know where your territory is? We, the Benins, we know where our territory is. The boundaries of our territories, we know it. The whole of south of Nigeria belongs to the Benin people. When I say south of Nigeria, spread out of south of Nigeria, even to the western part of the western region. The people who are spitting fire today have no territory in Nigeria. To say the fact, they have only one or two states. From the east, is exactly the same thing. But the British who came to Nigeria to subdue the Benin gave them so much power that today they are spitting power. They are spitting fire. They own this, they own that. And I want you to know today, you own nothing. Nigeria belongs to all of us. And if you are leaving Nigeria, you will take along with you what you brought in. And we are going to be taking along what belongs to us. My own take today, and I want to express gratitude to all the Benins that has been standing out, putting things in order, giving our people lectures in their different languages, representing their different tribes, their different ethnic group in different form, in a good way. But we still have some who can do better. Instead of going to social media to start disturbing your neighbors, insulting your neighbors, do something useful with your social media platform to educate everyone, because social is something very different from what we are seeing in the social media today. The media is a sort of platform used to inform people, but not to insult people. You see, the title of this broadcast today, the Benin Brotherhood. The Benin or the Edo people, they are not alone in the Benin Brotherhood. We have Esa, we have the Owan people, we have the Esako people, we have the Afema, we have the Urobo people, the Isoko people, we have Kwale people, we have the Anioma, Undokwas, Ika people, the Owa people. We have so many. The Benin is all over Nigeria. Even spread out of Nigeria as far as to Cameroon. The part of land that was from Nigeria, taken from Nigeria and given to Cameroon, was also part of our territory. And that was the work of Obasanjo. And today, those people are being slaughtered because they are fighting for their freedom. You see, when the British was leaving Nigeria, they handed power. They handed power over to the north, to the east, and to the west. The south was left out of this. And we just allowed this to happen. And we have been allowing it to be happening without taking our stand to say, no, we own Nigeria. We are feeding Nigeria. And today, those people that are spitting fire today, the money they are using, the revenue they are using, is from the south side of Nigeria. And The infrastructure, the South have been left without infrastructure. Go and look what the federal government is doing in Abuja, what they are doing in Lagos. Because when people are talking, then talk with sense, then talk with moral, and talk with knowledge. Today, the Yorubas are trying to take over Lagos from us. They have started this about 40 years ago. It's not just during the Tinubu time. They have started to be working that Lagos, all the ways to Lagos, always direct to the way of Ife. They have been doing that. The train station in Lagos is directed to that direction. The bus, the federal buses and others that was in Lagos was always directed to that direction. All the infrastructures are being directed to that direction. Because this is a planned work. It's not just happening because of today. It has started about 30 to 40 years ago to make sure that Lagos is being uh, taken over by the Yorubas. But you see, sometimes the truth is always there. Because thank God, also our forefathers, they were keeping records of their history. But they didn't put it in the modern days Western writing, but they were putting it on our own ways of writing. Everything was carved in ivory and in bronze and so many other things. And today we can see the records. And I'm very happy today that some Lagosians are coming up to say, no, we are not Yoruba. Yoruba was not founded by the Lagos was not founded by the Yorubas, but the Benins, and the Benin owns Lagos. But when people want to argue, they will say, oh, we did the investigation 40 years ago, we were part of that investigation, and we find out that the British created Lagos. How did British created Lagos? Lagos is not an English word. Lagos means lagoon, which the Portuguese were already using before the coming of the British. And the British now turned it to Lagos. And it's not only in Nigeria you found Lagos. Anywhere the Portuguese colonized, go to Brazil, they also have Lagos. And I can remember when I was in Formula One, when I was very good with Formula Ones, I used to watch the race from Interlagos. There is also a city called or area called Lagos because of the, the geographical location of that area. Eko is the original name and it's still there today. How I wish Lagos will return to Eko and so that the Benin will take its rightful place in that area. I am not ashamed to be here to be saying this because this is the truth. Many of you might be saying this is not the truth, this is a lie, what is this talking about? But go to your history books, the authentic Greek history books, then you will understand that our history started thousands of years ago, even before the coming of any white person stepping their foot into our territory. We were already great. We were already civilized. We were already civilized before they came. What they did to the Benin people is what they did in Iraq, what they did in Syria, what the Russians did in Chechnya, and what they did in Afghanistan. This is what they did to us. They were trying to erase us from the surface of the earth. But we are very lucky, and we are still very lucky to be here, to call ourselves Benin today. It's because of the hard work of some of our forefathers, like the Oba Akenzwa II, who stood firm to say, no, I will not allow our people to be used as slaves in Nigeria. By the creating of Midwest region of Nigeria, it was a hard fight. It was not easy for him. There was a huge humiliation, even from our own people like Anthony Nahoro of blessed memory, who stood against the Midwest. Then, so many people who stood against the Midwest, but Oba Akinzo stood firm to represent our people, to make sure our people still speak Edo language, not the Yoruba language. But today, nobody will come out to celebrate Oba Akinzo II. Instead, people are celebrating those people in Onsadebe's house. It wasn't just the work of Oba Akinzo II alone. There were also other patriotic Benin people who stood firm, with the Oba of Benin of that period to make sure our people were free from the stranglehold of the Yorubas, the Obafemi Awolowo. We, sometimes I used to wonder how we survived till date, you know, because we see dangers that is coming, and the danger is always here. If tomorrow it happens that things change dramatically in the East, we are going to be having a huge problem because those of our people who are living very close to the border are going to be feeling the heat. They are going to be feeling the heat because we are not supporting our brothers. We are not bringing our brothers so close to us, our brothers and sisters. And this is what we are supposed to be doing right now. This is supposed to be a task for every Benin person, whether you are Isan, you are Robo, whether you are from Okpe or whatsoever. Should be the task for all of us. You don't wait for a leader to come out before you defend yourself, or before you give your brother food to eat, or you give your brother water to drink. What we are doing today, when I see the issue between Isa and the Edos, is laughable because some of you want to reign in social media, will be distorting the history, insulting people who you are not supposed to insult. It's like the issue between the Urobos and the Shakiri people too. This is also laughable. Territory or no territory, we are one people. The Ka people are very close to the Benin too as well. In Oromo local government, you find a lot of Ika people, a lot of Ika communities. They have been living in peace. Even in my own village, Ika people come to farm there. They have been living in peace and harmony, side by side. We are supposed to be taking example of these people from Oriomo because I believe that is the only peaceful place in Edo State where so many people speaking different language come together to do things together, to live together. Speaking another tongue doesn't differentiate you from your own ethnic group or your own ethnicity. When I see today people are calling for unity, I will clap for these people because they know exactly what is missing between us. And this is what I'm here about today, to let you know that there's a space reserved for every one of us. There's a button in any one of us, in our DNA, to let you to understand. You need to press this button, then you will understand where you are from and what you can do for your people. You see, when issues are happening in our state, many people will always say, oh, what are those Benin organizations uh, in diaspora doing? They are not doing anything. Yes, the Benin organization in diasporas are contributing a lion's share or the elephant share to Edo State, to make sure there's peace in Edo State, to make sure Everyone live in peace and sleep in peace, so that you can go to bed without you afraid. You see, there's a lot we need to do, but what is more important now is defending our people against people from other area trying to be claiming our territory, and that is very, very crucial. Now, in the following days, event might be turning from good to worst, from to bad or whatsoever. But let us watch out and see, because you see, we need to learn more. We need to learn more from the past, the mistakes we made in the past, and why those mistakes happen, and why we should not that mistake shouldn't repeat himself. During the Nigerian Civil War, you know, Benin was invaded. Benin was invaded without even firing a shot, because we were waiting for the federal government to come and defend the Benin. But the federal government refused. Why? The North was busy preparing for them for their defense. The Yorubas were busy preparing for their defense. You know, the military arms and ammunition, the military powers was divided to these regions. But the military power was not in Benin. Benin was left with zero, without ammunition, without soldiers, without federal soldiers to defend Benin. And this is also the situation I'm seeing today. Benin is very close to the east, because Benin is in the center. If you are going to the north, you take Benin. If you are going to the west, you take Benin. If you are going to anywhere, you pass through Benin. And I'm seeing this today as one of the greatest threats, because we need to start doing our own thing in our own way. Don't need to wait for the federal government to bring troops to Nigeria, to Edo State, before we can defend ourselves. We need to learn. We need to learn from the past mistakes. Let us be preparing, because things are getting very hot in Nigeria. And apart from the economic problem Nigeria is facing, we are facing other problems like unity. I can tell you about 50% of the people in Nigeria today are against the unity of Nigeria, while the other 50% is for Nigeria. People, for me, from my own heart, I'm for Nigeria. But if Nigeria no longer exists, let us be on our own. Let us be there for our people, to protect our people from those cannibals who want to sophisticate our people with what they believe as power play, or unity begging. If you really own those people, or those people belongs to you, there's no need of begging them to come to you, because the Benin always say, "Ahioga yumo dia, obu nonya didi." If you are peacing, the peace run out. But when it's coming to the end, then we'll be coming back to where it starts. You don't force people into your own agitation. You don't force them to be what they are not, because they are not whom you think they are. So, we are Benin. Let us put Benin first. Let us come to have a brotherhood who will take care of everyone. There's a space for every one of us. There's a space for every one of us, because only one state, Edo State, is bigger than 5 states in the east. Also population, because we have been cheated on in so many areas. The population of the South is even more than that of the east. or the north. But we are being cheated on because this is how the federal allocation goes out. But today, we are not underdeveloped. We are still more developed than those areas, those who are even getting more money. We are even more developed because we have to be saying this. Because our past governors, some of them have failed, but some of them have also did a very good job in developing our states. The Benin Delta State, River State, Cross River State are more developed. That's one of the most developed areas in the whole of Nigeria. Lagos is also a Benin territory. It's also developed. This is the skill. This is the skill we inherited from our people, our forefathers. So let us be building on our people, on what we have. Because I can see that the Benins have a brighter future, even more than those people that are agitating now. Because what they are eyeing is the oil and the gas reserve of the Benin people, of the Delta people, of the South people. You know, the reserve, the gas reserve we find in the South region is feeding Nigeria today. Nigeria is exporting gas to other countries. Nigeria is exporting crude oils. There's no one that is found in Enugu. There's no one that is found in Anambra. There's no one that is found in Owerri. All of them are in the Delta in Edo State. And there's no one that is found in Abeokuta or Ife or in Just or in other places. Everything is in the South. The wealth is in the South. And this is what is now they are fighting for. And this is why the people are so very, very fast to draw a map. To draw a map that includes South in their region. Because if you look at the eastern part of the Southeast, what they now call themselves, they don't have access to water. You know, by preaching those unity message, they want to have access to water. They want to collect the territory of those people, of these people, so that they can have access to water. Likewise, this is what the Yorubas are doing. Preaching the message of unity, trying to have access to water, to the water territory of the Benins. And this is what has been going on for a very, very long time. So it's time we wake up to say no to all this threat, to all this fabrication of histories, to all this fabrication of maps. We were existing before Nigeria. We brought in majority to Nigeria, and we were reduced to minority because of fake history, fabricated histories, and fabricated regions. And we need to end that. We need to end that and start talking to our people. We now have to start sending messages to our people to allow them to understand whom they are, that they cannot be slaves to any other people. During the slave trade, it was only the Benin that didn't support slave trading because we know the value of life. We know the meaning of freedom. And that is very, very important. Fighting for our own freedom, for our own existence in Nigeria. That is important. I believe you should be a part of it. If you are interested in joining us in this movement, send me a message, either through my Facebook page. My WhatsApp number is also included there. You can send me a message. and we will have a discussion. And I will introduce to you this organization I'm representing today. And we need you as you need us. So thank you very much, and God bless everyone who joined me today. I'm pleased and I'm very happy that I'm a Benin person. Thank you. Goodbye.